Hello and welcome back to yet another discussion video. And also happy St. Patrick's Day because looking at my schedule for March, this video is coming out on St. Patrick's Day. So I hope you all have a merry St. Patrick's Day and don't get too drunk. But yeah, so today's video, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about collecting regrets. And it's something that I was thinking about, I've been collecting for about since 2021. Or yeah, was it 20? Yeah, 2021. Was when I started, all of this. But this wasn't the very first thing I collected. I think I've mentioned this prior that, back in 2015 to 2016, I used to collect retro video games. Now, I still have somewhat of a video game collection, mainly in around the Xbox 360. But I do have regrets when it comes to collecting, and that's mainly just the fact that I got rid of my gaming collection. That is my biggest regret because I had so there are photos. I still have a photo of what my collection looked like back in 2016. And whenever I look at it, so it's on my Instagram now. I'm not gonna go searching for it on Instagram just because I'm too lazy. Um, you know, I miss it. I do miss it. Especially now with how much collecting for retro has gone up. Like that's one of the main reasons why I love about collecting physical media is it is so cheap compared to collecting video games because ever since the pandemic, the prices have just been continually going up. So what did I collect? Well, I basically collect for what I could get my hands on, and that was I I collected PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, Xbox Original, at one point Wii, PSP, DS, 3DS, Game Boy, because I actually found an OG Game Boy for like dirt cheap in a charity shop, mint condition, and I got rid of it, and I'm forever kicking myself because there are some cool things that I had in that collection that I wish I still had to this day. I still wish I had a PlayStation, a PlayStation 2 to be more precisely, because back when I was collecting them, it was a cheap ass console. Like you could buy one back then for like maybe 50, 60 euro. Now it's 100 plus for either the slim model or the fat PS2. And that's what's been a massive deterrent for me. Like, do I really want to spend 100 euro on a console? And then again, as I keep saying, the prices of video games have gone up. Like The Simpsons Hit and Run on PlayStation 2. I haven't checked, but the last time I think it was around the 30 to 40 range for it on PlayStation 2. That's not including Xbox. Um and on top of that, I had a very expensive Pokemon game. I had nearly all the DS and 3DS Pokemon games. I had Diamond, I had Black, I had Black 2, I had either Heart Gold or Soul Silver. I then of course had Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, um, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and then digitally I had Pokemon Moon on my 3DS, which was a limited edition Pokemon 3DS, which was the Pokemon X limited edition 3DS that my mother got me when for Christmas the year back, like when that came out, and I don't have that anymore, and I'm kicking myself for not having that. Now, granted, it hasn't gone too crazy in price. CEX sells unboxed version of that 3DS for about 260. On eBay, I seen one sold in America for 197. So about the same as CEX. Boxed, I think, is about like 260, 280, and CEX, and boxed on eBay. As of recording this on the 7th of February, a boxed one of that sold for like nearly €1,000, about a little over 900. And because I even had the box for, well, no, I think I destroyed the box. I can't remember. But yeah, it's just memories of that, and even going back and looking at old footage that I had on a long, long ago abandoned channels of, you know, though, like watching the early steps of my collecting. Like I said, that original Game Boy I got for so cheap in a charity shop, and it was in mint condition, and I got rid of it for, I think, like 30 at the time. Well, it had to be, the screen had to be fixed because it had a line going down it. But I missed that. I had a Game Boy Advance. I still have my SP from when I was a kid, but I need to buy a new battery for that. Because it's not really holding a charge. Well, it's not charging. Well, it charges for a little bit, then the charger knocks off. So I need to get get a new battery and swap it out, which will be the second time that I've had to do that. Um, and I even had Pokemon Emerald, which is one of the most expensive Game Boy Advance Pokemon games out there. And I found it, I bought it for €10 back in 2016, 2017, and I got rid of it way, way before the price went up. And the battery on it was working. There was no battery issue on it, because some of the old Pokemon games do suffer battery issues where you'd have to replace them. But yeah, that, because like Pokemon Emerald right now, cartridge only, I believe goes for 180. Now, me talking about value of stuff, that's with me, that's why I actually stopped collecting video games, and why I don't care about the value for my physical media collection. And it is the value of it. I was always trying to chase the high value items, and I was cannibalizing my own collection, where I would take a bunch of my games, look up, see how much I'd get for trading them in to CEX. I'd go down, trade them in, and buy more games to add back into the collection. And at one point, I just had enough of that, because I was just losing money that way. Because I would spend like €2 for a game in a charity shop. I would trade it in, and I might just get 50 cents for it. So that's the minus profit on that margin. And so that's why when it comes to the Xbox 360, I'm only collecting what I want. And right now I'm only missing two games that I really, really want, but those are kind of on the higher end, 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 range, and they're probably just going to keep going up. So I may never get my hands on them. But it is one of the big things that I regret, is getting rid of that, those video games, especially that Pokemon handheld. I'm kicking myself for getting rid of that. And I have tried, with different DS handhelds in the past, where in 2018 I bought a 3DS from a cash converters when I visited my dad. And then I bought a Pokemon game, two Pokemon games in CEX over there, and then I traded it in, because I wasn't playing it. And then 2 years, but going on 3 years ago now, I bought a 2DS, and I think I bought digitally a Pokemon game, or I bought it physically. I can't remember which. I stopped playing it, and then I traded both of them in. So that was and is a problem when it comes to that. But yeah, that is one of the big regrets that I have for collecting, is getting out of collecting video games when I had the chance. Now I had perfectly valid reasons. I was trading in more than, and I was losing money by doing that, when it came to collecting. I started collecting for the Wii and the PlayStation Portable when I realized that I wasn't playing them, because I got them for Christmas. I traded them in several months later, I think. and bought more like PlayStation games, and stuff like that. Because that was the main thing that I was collecting for, was the PlayStation 2. Everything else was like an add-on. But when it comes to you know this, what I collect now, I don't necessarily have any regrets. Yes, that I might look back at one of my live DVD and Blu-ray hunting videos and see a movie that I was seeing constantly in my CEX at the time, and I kept passing over it because it just wasn't on my radar at the time for a cheaper price, and now it's going for a good bit more. That does happen, and that would be kind of my only real regret, is passing up something that I would later realize, oh, I actually kind of want that in my collection. A prime example of that is the film AI, Artificial Intelligence. I've told this story a bunch, so I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Could not remember the name of the title for years and years, and then I was on Playtendo Guy's stream. The name got brought up and the gears started turning, and then I looked into it and oh, that was the movie that I was searching for. And looking back at some of my early live DVD and Blu-ray hunts, there was the Blu-ray for like €8, and it never clicked in me to look into it, because there were multiple times where I was just looking at it and I was like, when I was filming and when I wasn't filming, because it was there for a good while. But I do have the Blu-ray now that I bought on Amazon. For, I think I paid a bit more than what I would have paid had I bought it in CEX at that time. But I think that's mainly it. I don't really have any collecting regrets when it comes to the other things that I collect, like the action figures, or the Doctor Who ones. Maybe, actually no, I tell a lie of the Doctor Who ones. I do have collecting regrets, and that's getting rid of some of my sonic screwdrivers that I wish I still had, because I used to have the 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver. Now, I do have a screwdriver that's in the shape of the 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver, but that's not the one that I had growing up. That I gave to an ex, because Matt Smith was her favorite Doctor. And so at the time when we were together, I decided to give that to her for her as a birthday present. And then the other one that I had was the 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver. I wish I still had that, but I gave that to somebody else who absolutely loved the 10th Doctor, and specifically that screwdriver. And so, being the people pleaser that I was, I wanted to make that person happy. So it's like, I'll just give them to him. I can get it again. Now the prices on these sonic screwdrivers that haven't had a re-release in a good while are stupid prices. And to buy them again, I'm going to have to spend stupid prices, because I'm saying now that I'm an idiot, but at the time I was doing it because I was with my then girlfriend at the time, and then the other person was a good friend of mine that I wanted. I was like, I may as well. So that is the only Doctor Who collecting regret that I have. And I think that's it. Those are the only real regrets that I have when it comes to collecting. So yeah, that's actually going to wrap this video up. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any collecting regrets, let me know in the comments down below, and I shall see you all on the 21st for a video that I'm hoping I'll be able to do. I need just to get back into reading it for me to do that. So maybe I'll once I finish filming this, I'll go start reading the first book so I can get to book 3, so I can actually do that review. If not, I'll have to come up with something different. So I can't say what it is. It might be a book review, or it might be something different. I'm not too sure. We'll see how I get on with reading. Anyway, that is going to wrap things up for me, and I'll catch you all on the next upload. I'll see you all next time.